Now, here's a little story I'd like to tell about three bad co-hosts you know so well. Started way back in history with my Chasey B.
I don't know where to go from that, but that was great.
Yeah, Beastie Boys.
That was good.
Throwing it way back.
Austin doesn't know rap, so he didn't know that song, but I like it.
Ooh, ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, children of all ages, welcome back to another episode of Call to the Bullpen podcast. I am one of three co-hosts, Austin Keeney.
And you know it's me, Chasey B.
And I am not any of the Beastie Boys. I am Jared Silberkleit, but
MC J Silks in the house.
We are all Jewish, though.
We're not all Jewish.
As Adam Sandler says, do you know who's also Jewish? All three Beastie Boys.
Oh, we should have done the Hanukkah intro.
Oh, so much Hanukkah to celebrate Hanukkah. Call to the Bullpen. Festival of Sports.
Not a doctor.
Not a doctor. Anyways, here we go of the Week 17 NFL season preview episode. We're going to start off with your Falcons at Buccaneers. Game that literally doesn't matter.
This game is one of many that don't matter this week.
Almost every game this week doesn't matter. And even the ones that do matter barely matter.
Interesting stat, though. Matt Ryan actually has a halfway decent year with 4,546 yards, 33 touchdowns, and only 6 picks. For a guy that really hasn't been doing much for his team, his team hasn't been doing much for him, he's been having a pretty good year now that I've actually looked at his stat line.
Yep. And I've been saying that since the beginning of the year because I was trying to trade him in fantasy, and Chase was, man, Matt Ryan sucks. There's better people. He's honestly, on paper, probably the best, if not the second best offensive quarterback other than Patrick Mahomes, like fantasy-wise. I'm not talking, Tom Brady, greatest of all time kind of arguments. I'm talking just on paper stat line. Matt Ryan is having one of the top 3 seasons as a quarterback.
Well, yeah. I mean, look at the receiver combo. You got Julio Jones, Mohamed Sanu, Calvin Ridley.
Julio Jones barely did anything all year.
Well,
what are you talking about?
He's only got 7 touchdowns.
Yeah, but he's got 1,500 yards.
Okay. He has 7 touchdowns. That's really not great. Christian McCaffrey has 6 receiving touchdowns.
Well, this. You've been talking all season long about how they don't score points.
I understand that. But, Christian McCaffrey as a running back has 6 receiving touchdowns. Julio Jones has 7. I mean, we can go down the line here.
Well, Jones went down, 8 weeks without a touchdown or something like that.
Exactly.
So he's had 7 in the last 8 weeks.
Meh.
Make it sound a little better?
Yeah, it does. Well, look, both these teams have seen better days. I'm feeling the Bucs.
I've seen better days.
Bucks need this season to end so they can figure out who their quarterback is going to be next year.
Well, that's...
The Bucs are like the Jaguars with quarterbacks right now. It's just like, we're going to start this guy, and we're going to start that guy, and we're going to start him. Screw it, the water boy's going to start.
Let's flip a coin, yeah.
Hey, flip a coin. Speaking of flipping a coin.
I was actually going to say that the reason I'm picking the Bucs in this game is because if you compare these two teams, the Buccaneers are the team with more to lose as far as the quarterback and head coach being in more danger of being replaced, and they're playing at home, so I think the motivation is going to be on their side to win this game and save some jobs.
I think you could argue the same thing about the Falcons, who are freaking 6-9 right now.
They're not getting rid of Matt Ryan, though. We've just established that.
But their head coach, their offensive coordinator, literally everybody that has anything to do with a job in Atlanta.
I mean, I think that this could just be that one aberration of a season. I mean, this is a franchise with, they've got a lot of recent success. Again, the Buccaneers have sucked forever, so there's more of a risk of ownership getting fed up.
That's fair. Why are we still talking about this?
Agreed. Move on.
Yep. Jared's got the Buccaneers. I have the Falcons. Chase has the Falcons. We also have a coin flip that I need to get to because that is our house pick. Our house says heads. Going with the Falcons here.
Cool.
Stupid.
Dolphins at Bills is next in a absolute barn burner of a game. Ryan Tannehill versus Josh Allen. Who are you going to take, Jared?
The Bills are favored by 4.5 freaking points.
Yeah,
in this
they
game.
should. What they should be. They've been
why?
Because they've been playing. They've not been horrible this year. Not as bad as you'd think at least.
Not as bad as 5-10.
The Miami has looked atrocious on offense the last couple of weeks, and now they're going up into the freezing cold weather in Buffalo, this team that plays in South Florida. You would think they're going to get up for this game after just getting eliminated from the playoffs, scoring 7 points against the Jacksonville Jaguars. I fully expect the Bills to win this game. I'm not going to say it's going to be by a lot, but I think that they're going to lead most of the way through and beat the Dolphins by about 10 points.
I disagree. I have the Dolphins. I don't think that the Bills really have much of a... I don't think they're much better than the Dolphins. I think these teams are pretty much equal. And if we're going to go with just more wins and more talent, Dolphins have more talent, especially if Kenyon Drake plays. If Kenyon Drake doesn't play, then maybe the Bills will have more. But Ryan Tannehill's still a serviceable quarterback. I'll take the Dolphins.
I'm also going to take the Dolphins here. I just think the Bills are completely irrelevant. I don't think Josh Allen's a good quarterback at all. I think
he's a good runner.
He's a good runner, yeah. So they can draft another quarterback and put him as a running back.
Josh Allen.
Yeah, Josh Allen, the new running back. Of the
Adam
Bills.
Gase's play calling sucks.
The Dolphins.
Adam Gase sucks,
Bills.
but so do the Bills.
This entire team sucks. This entire game sucks.
What's worse, eating dog shit or eating cat shit?
Well put.
Looks like shit. Smells like shit. Tastes like shit. Good thing I didn't step in it. The house is taking the Bills.
God damn it.
Yeah,
the house agrees with Jared twice.
God damn it,
taking
house.
the Bills, man.
We're going to have to talk after this.
I know. The house took the Falcons last game. What am I saying?
False.
I'm stupid.
False news.
Bull. Panthers, Saints. The Saints are only favored by 7.5 points here, and they should be favored by 15 because the Panthers suck.
Now, hear me out.
The Panthers suck.
Hear me out.
Nope, the Panthers are not going to win this game.
Saints get up by, I don't know, 14 points in the first half. Put in all their backups. Panthers come back and win by like a field goal.
It's not entirely out of the realm of possibility, but the Panthers are down
completely out of the realm of possibility.
Bro,
I don't even think Cam Newton's starting in this.
He's not.
It's not.
So
even...
they're going to go up by 35 by halftime.
No, they're not. Dude, they're not going to keep their starters in for very long.
Yeah, halftime, and it's going to be 35-0.
Here's the problem: even if they're up 21-0,
the Saints' second string could beat the Panthers right now.
I disagree.
I completely disagree with you. Disagree with my statement.
I disagree with your disagreement.
No, want to bro down, bro.
No.
The Panthers have zero shot in any hell.
It's the backups.
Why? Because the Panthers have a bunch of backups.
Chase, the Panthers are playing
their throw for more than their starting quarterback right now.
The Panthers are playing they're down to their third quarterback of the season. They literally signed this jabroni to start this game. He just joined the team a few days ago.
I'm telling you, Christian McCaffrey is going to throw for more yards than their starting quarterback.
I'll take that bet.
Prop bet. All right, no, seriously, Saints are going to absolutely pummel the Panthers.
Panthers.
What are you putting on
7-9.
What are you putting on it? It can't be Wheel of Punishment because nobody wants to step up.
I'm not putting anything on it. We already got a Masters pack on our fantasy.
All right,
I'm up 26 points, a little brat.
And it's not enough.
Yeah, it's true.
It's really not. You see what happened to me. But as far
if anybody's wondering, I came back down 46 points to beat Jared by 3 in the second week of our fantasy semifinal. So hold on. Oh, that should have been my old moment.
Yep.
I'm going to make an extra old moment this week, and it's going to be that.
Hey, if you win
you know what? Right now. All right, moving on.
Wow.
Saints are going to beat the Panthers.
Did I even get to? I didn't even get to give my. Yeah. All right.
Jared has the Saints. Chase has the Panthers.
Yeah.
I have the Saints. The house has.
Jared, I'll beat him for you.
The Panthers. God damn it.
Yeah, I agree with what Austin said. I think that I see this being like, even if the Saints stars just play for a half, they're going to score enough points to hold on for the win.
So do you play Alvin Kamara?
I would say so. I think he'll do enough damage in the first half alone. Yeah, sure, why not?
No, I disagree. I don't think Alvin Kamara is ever going to see the field.
Yeah, I don't know. That's tough.
If he does, it might be.
I'll
for
monitor
the
his
first drive.
status.
Yeah, honestly, I say he gets in there for the first drive, and that's it. There's no. What's the point? There's no. Point
especially because Mark Ingram is good enough.
Yeah, that's a good point. That's true. I would actually.
The Saints would be absolutely dumb,
psychotic
to let Alvin Kamara play for any more than a single drive.
Make one juke move.
Let him warm up. Let him stretch. let him play for one drive just to get out there and keep the freaking limbs limber and the ligaments stretched out, and then go into playoffs with a healthy Alvin Kamara.
I concur.
Word. Cowboys at Giants.
I got the Giants here because, like me and Jared were talking about before, and just like the Saints game, Cowboys have nothing to play for. They are locked in at the 4 seed. They can't move up. They can't move down. And the Giants, well, Eli's got something to show here because he might be fighting for a position in this team next year. Sorry. Oh, what are you doing? Switching. Austin's moving over to the Giants. That gives all three of us on the Giants train here. And it's not a bad train to be on because, like I said, the Cowboys are playing for nothing.
Yeah, I don't know. I think the Giants could pull this one off. You're right. The Cowboys have nothing to play for. I think Saquon Barkley is going to go out there and show why he's the best draft pick this year. And Eli Manning, like you said, does have something to fight for. Will he have a job next year? Probably. I mean, there's really not that great of quarterbacks in this draft class to start over him week one unless like something drastic happens.
Dude, there's nothing, man. Because here's the thing: the top quarterback prospects in this college football season were all underclassmen. None of them are seniors. And Justin Herbert from Oregon, he already declared for his or he did
senior
not.
year.
He committed to his senior year. And then you got Dwayne Haskins from Ohio State. He's a sophomore. He's most likely not entering the draft.
The kid's 19.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. It's he's great, but he's not going to the NFL just yet. And then you got Drew Lock, who is also not a senior. So it's very possible that none of those three guys are even available in the draft. So I said before, last year, if you wanted to make the change, that was your opportunity. You decided to take Saquon Barkley instead. That's okay. But
which there's nothing wrong with that. Clearly, Saquon Barkley's stated his argument for why he was justified as a draft pick last year. The only thing I will say is that Odell is not playing again. So I mean that's a little tough. So we'll see what happens, but I'll take the Giants in this one. I think they have a little bit more to prove than the Cowboys do, and like we said about the whole Alvin Kamara, why would you start him thing? The Cowboys aren't going to go out here and go balls to the wall and try to win this game because you're right, they have nothing to play for. So maybe some backups end up coming in. Maybe Zeke sits for a little while. Prescott gets sat halfway through the game or something. Like I said, go through the motions, go through the receptions in the motions just to stay stretched out for the playoffs. So I'll take the Giants with this one too. We're going to flip for the house, and the house also agrees. So you have a sweep of the Giants across the board. That is, I think, the first time all four of us have agreed on a football game since we started the house thing. So the Giants, according to all of us, are winning that football game. Jets at the Patriots. Chase, why do you have the Jets? For the same reason that everybody's sitting.
Why? Well, huh? You.
What do you mean? Why?
They're 4-11.
What do you mean? Why?
In Foxborough.
The Jets' offense is surging, baby. The Jets' offense is surging.
Sam Darnold almost has as many interceptions as he does touchdowns.
And God damn it, I don't want to see the Patriots get a bye.
Well, I know you.
Okay, so this is just a personal pick.
This is a spite pick.
All right. So there's actually no justification for why
I can absolutely see the Jets winning this game. Listen, it's an in-division game. Anything can happen. And the Jets' offense actually has been good. Maybe you didn't see them put 38 points up last week against the Packers, who are terrible, but still.
All right, so the Packers' defense doesn't exist.
Patriots' defense doesn't exist. Who do they have? Stephon Gilmore? That's it.
Okay, so who do the Packers have? Not even Stephon Gilmore.
Not even Stephon Gilmore, no. So, Patriots' defense is not good. And like we saw last week, Brady he doesn't really throw the ball that much this year. So if the Jets can stop Sony Michel, this game could be a lot closer than 13.5 points.
I mean, I think the Jets will get up for this game. I think they'll try, but the Patriots, I mean, they're still a lot more talented than the Jets. The Jets are still a team that's
old talent.
No, it's old. It's old
Jets
talent.
have more young talent.
Listen, I don't like the Patriots, and I think that this year they're they barely deserve their 10-5 record, but the Jets are still one of the worst teams in the league. Yeah, do they have a franchise quarterback? Sure. They got no talent around him. They still can't stop a nosebleed on defense. I still think that even if we get that medium-level effort from New England, that they would still beat the New York Jets, especially if a bye is at stake, because here's the thing, for the Patriots, they know how important the seeding is going to be for them. They need a bye because they're so out of their element if they have to play Wild Card weekend. If you look at this team, they've never won the Super Bowl when they've had to play on Wild Card weekend. They've never even made it to the Super Bowl when they've had to go through that.
Yeah, I don't know how you can say the Jets are going to win this game. I don't know.
Jets are going to win.
Nope.
I'm betting on them. Betting the plus 13.5. What's their money line? I'm going to Google it right now. The money line is going to be like plus 300.
Nah, they're like a plus $1.75.
More than that.
Nah.
Go on. We'll move on. I'll bring it up.
Yep. Moving on. We're going to do the flip here. And then we're going to move on to the Jaguars at the Texans, which is a game that we shouldn't even talk about. Even the coin says the Patriots.
Texans need to win.
We should talk about that game.
What?
We should talk about that game.
Yeah, Texans.
The Jaguars suck.
Yeah, but the Texans need to win in order to clinch the division.
Of course the Texans are going to win. It's the Jaguars.
No, not necessarily. We saw
absolutely necessarily.
Oh my God, dude! Have you been watching football? Listen,
have you been watching the Jaguars do anything this entire year?
They just won.
I have actually, and they
who?
Who they beat?
Exactly.
The Dolphins.
Oh, yeah, there we go. Yeah, the Dolphins at the Jaguars. Brr, they beat the Dolphins. The Jaguars suck, man. They're away. Texans need to prove something here. Deshaun Watson put up 4 touchdowns himself. He's going to do it again. He's going to keep throwing to DeAndre Hopkins. He's going to put up another 120 yards like he does every single game and probably get another touchdown. I'm not saying they're going to win by 25. I'm not saying they're going to win by 35. Maybe it'll be 7, 10, potentially. But there's no way the Jaguars beat the Texans. Absolutely not.
I'm
0.
I would retract that statement if I were you.
I will not retract that statement.
Oh, here we go. Another upset in the making.
Absolutely not.
I'm going to pick the Texans to win. However, the Jaguars are very much a threat to win this game because I don't know if anybody remembers, but the Jaguars shut out the Indianapolis Colts with Andrew Luck just a few weeks ago. That would be 0 points. No scores. 0. Nada. Zilch. And now it's
Blake Bortles is starting this football game, and he sucks. He shouldn't even be a quarterback. He was benched, and now he's being brought back in. He's terrible. The Jaguars are terrible. They have nothing to play for. Their coaching staff sucks. Everybody hates their coaching staff. Everybody hates playing for them.
Okay.
Their entire defense is going to fall apart and end up on different teams next year. The Jaguars are terrible. Blake Bortles goes for, 107 yards, 3 interceptions, and potentially a touchdown.
Okay, do you think that if you continue to
107 and 3 interceptions.
All right, so do you think that if you continue to say the Jaguars are bad a million times in a mirror, that like Tom Coughlin's going to appear and give you like a trophy or something like that? That's not how this works.
No, it's not you. When I say your name 3 times, you just show up at people's houses.
All right, I got the money line. You ready? Plus 320.
Wow.
Yep.
Wow.
I'm putting $5 on it. I'll put $5.
All right. So anyway, the Jaguars are totally going to get up for this game and try to pull off the upset because they could ruin one of their rivals' seasons. Because here's the thing. The Texans need this win. They're already in the playoffs, but they don't have the division clinched yet. And if they lose this game, and that means that the winner of the late game is going to finish with a 4-2 divisional record, so they're going to win the AFC South. I do think Houston is going to rebound and win. It's not going to be easy, though. I could totally see this coming down to the wire. Totally.
Me too.
Because the Texans don't blow anybody out. They've had very few dominant wins this year.
I never said they were going to blow the Jaguars out. I just said maybe 7, potentially 10 at max.
But you also said that the Jaguars had 0 chance at winning this game, which is just not
that's
true.
correct. But I didn't say it was going to be a blowout. I'm just saying there's no chance that it's going to be a win for the Jaguars. However, it will be 7 to 10 points.
You do realize that Blake the Snake Bortles is now going to throw for 5 touchdowns in this game.
Blake the Snake Bortles is going to get absolutely demolished in this game.
5 touchdowns.
No. 3 interceptions, 107 yards, and 1 touchdown.
Moving on.
Yeah, move on.
Yeah. You're welcome. Put that on paper. I want somebody to write that down and tell me
Texans.
what happens. Even the quarter agrees.
We got the Lions at the Packers next in an absolutely meaningless matchup.
Game. The Packers are going to win because they're still better than Detroit, and they're good. They're playing at Lambeau. They found their offense against the Jets. I think that Aaron Rodgers anchoring the team and putting up 44 points on the road. They're going to have some momentum to carry over and just give something to build off of going into next year. This season has sucked, but they'll beat the Lions.
Absolutely not. I'm sorry. No, I'm not going to start that argument again. However, I am going with the Lions in this game. I think Matt Stafford's going to come out and actually play this game like his future's on the line because he's a free agent at the end of this year. Am I correct?
I don't know if he's a free agent, but he's definitely in the trade rumors.
I thought he was a free agent.
TBD.
To be determined. We will find out. I thought he was a free agent. I very well may be wrong. I apologize. However, either way, I think Matt Stafford's going to come out and prove that he is still one of the better quarterbacks in the league, even with minimal help. Is Galladay still hurt? Is that a thing?
Questionable.
Questionable? Okay, so, man, that's tough.
He'll play.
He'll probably play. I think the Lions win this one, even though the Packers are at home. The Packers season has just been absolutely atrocious and just so meaningless. And I don't want to keep bringing up maybe they'll sit people. I don't think they'll sit Aaron Rodgers, but really, this game means nothing. Why hurt them?
They're playing in front of their home crowd, though, so I think they will play.
Yeah, end the season on a high note, I guess. But I don't know. I think the Lions can come out and really win this game.
I also have the Lions here. I think it's going to be very close. 7.5 points is a lot, and that's what the betting line is at right now. I think that the Packers' defense is so just terrible that Matthew Stafford will be able to have a really good game here, and hopefully Kenny Galladay will have a good game too because I have to start him in our fantasy matchup. That being said, Jamal Williams has been an absolute beast for the Packers since Aaron Jones has went down, and obviously we saw Aaron Rodgers put up some crazy career numbers last week. This game could be a shootout, really. It could be a really high-scoring affair. I'm going to take the Lions just because why the fuck not?
I mean,
that's fair.
The Packers aren't good this year, so it could totally happen. Really, this game doesn't matter.
What does the coin say?
What does the coin say? Flip, 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 flip. The coin says Lions.
Very good.
Very, very good. Chargers, Broncos. Chase, you just taking the Broncos out of principle?
I'm taking the Broncos out of principle. And
that's
Broncos are home. I think that they're going to play the Chargers tough because they've had such a terrible season that they want to really end on a good note in front of their home crowd. But obviously the Chargers are the better team, and they don't think that losing once to the Broncos is one thing. Losing twice would be an absolute failure for them. And Phillip Lindsay will not be playing in this game, so all points to the Chargers, but obviously I'm going to take the Broncos because I'm a Broncos fan.
I'm taking the Chargers because of literally everything you just said.
Yeah.
And because the Chargers are going to win this football game.
I agree there. I mean, Chase, it's your last opportunity this season to pick your team, so I understand the loyalty, but
yeah.
I just feel like Denver, I think they got nothing left at this point. I just think that they have got all the energy and life sucked out of them. I think that this will be the exclamation point to get rid of the stupid head coach. And the Chargers, they need this win. Well, not need, but I mean, you've got an opportunity here to potentially get home field advantage throughout the entire playoffs. You have to get up for this game. You have to take care of business. You just can't lose.
Agreed.
Yeah.
Jared's got the Chargers. Chase has the Broncos. I have the Chargers. The house has the Broncos.
Oi! Okie
Broncos
dokie.
still are not going to win that football game. Can we not talk about this next game at all?
The Rams have to win for home field advantage.
It's the 49ers.
A bye.
If the Rams lose to the 49ers, the Rams lose in the first week of the playoffs.
Absolutely agree. Absolutely agree.
Glad we're on the same page.
So I'm actually really invested in this game because I'm starting Jared Goff and I'm starting CJ Anderson.
Ooh, and I have the freaking Rams defense.
So we're very interested in this game.
Interesting.
I'm going to take the Rams, hopefully by 50. Really hope it's by 50.
You need it.
Yeah, I need it bad.
Bad.
Todd Gurley, we are still monitoring his status. We don't know if he's going to play or not. Clearly, C.J. Anderson was a successful backup role for him, so I don't see why they would need to play him since they're already in the playoffs no matter what. I think they could probably take care of business without him. So if that's the case, obviously C.J. Anderson will play. If not, then Todd Gurley does play. I'm going to cry a little bit because I won't have a running back to start. But yeah, I'm pretty much just talking about fantasy right now because this game is going to be an absolute blowout. The Rams are going to win.
Yeah, hopefully. And hopefully they end with like 3 interceptions, 2 defensive touchdowns, a fumble recovery for a touchdown.
Nah, that's fine.
Yeah, no, we'll see what happens. I mean, I have Patrick Mahomes and like they could bench him after the first quarter. So
That'd be cool.
That would be really crappy. Anyways, I think the Rams are going to absolutely murder the 49ers because it's the 49ers. They're 4-11 and this season's over for them. They need to go into next year and maybe pick up Earl Thomas. I'm sorry. What am I saying? Earl Thomas and come back with a better defense, another weapon on offense, bring their quarterback back from injury, and hopefully have a better season. And then we said that in our last episode, they're going to be somebody to look out for next year, but we'll obviously talk about that in the offseason. Rams are going to win.
Yeah,
Jared,
I'm taking the Rams too. Again, you got a bye at stake. It would really be kind of embarrassing for LA to drop this game after leading the NFC all season long and have to actually play on Wild Card weekend. Kind of embarrassing for the team. And yeah, you're at home against the 49ers. You got to win. It's just like the Chargers game. You just got to take care of business, and I think that they will, even if Gurley sits again.
Yeah, that's pretty much all we got on that one. Coin flip says the Rams. Thank God. Coin flip's actually making some somewhat sense this week.
Don't jinx it now.
I said somewhat. Yeah, no, they're going to go with the Cardinals, the Redskins, and the Raiders going forward. Speaking of the Cardinals, they are playing the Seahawks. Jared?
Yeah, the Seahawks have clinched. However, their seeding is not set in stone. So they still need to win this game to lock up the 5th seed, which matters because going to Dallas versus going to Chicago is kind of different. So if I'm Seattle, I want to go someplace where, I mean, not that they're, they don't have any experience with the elements, but, that Dallas is an indoor stadium and you know exactly what to expect, how it's going to be. Not to mention the Bears have an absolutely filthy defense. And the Seahawks, yeah, I just think they know that Dallas is a more favorable matchup for them. They'd be a more favorable matchup for anybody compared to the way the Bears defense has been playing over the last, really all season long. And the Cardinals are just utterly atrocious. I think right now, the team has quit on the coach. There's word that Wilkes is going to get fired, or Wilk is going to get fired almost undoubtedly, unquestionably. The Cardinals have barely looked like an NFL team throughout much of this season. They've just looked completely embarrassing at least half the time. So this will be a fitting conclusion to one of the worst years in franchise history.
Yep, Seahawks are going to win significantly.
Yeah, I could not agree more. Seahawks are one of the better teams right now. They have a lot of momentum going, and you don't really have to say much else. They're playing the Cardinals. Coin flip says, I jinxed it, Jared.
Cardinals?
I jinxed it.
Told you.
Flip's going with the Cardinals.
I told you.
I know.
Spoke too soon.
I'm sorry. I did it.
Yeah.
Going to our next game, Eagles at Redskins. Another game that the Eagles should win this game. They're playing a really crappy Redskins team. Josh Johnson is their quarterback, and there's no reason that the Redskins should win this game. However, it's the Eagles, so it could probably happen. But Nick Foles is on an absolute momentum tear right now and is killing everybody that he plays.
The Redskins are garbage at this point. They also just cut DJ Swearinger after he buried the defensive play calling against Tennessee, and he's mouthed off multiple times this season. But so they cut him.
The Cardinals just pick up Swearinger or something like that?
No way. Really? No.
Yeah, I swear to God, somebody pick up Swearinger. You guys talk. I'll figure it out.
Yeah, I'm also going to take the Eagles here, obviously. They're going to trend in the right direction for the playoffs. We'll see what Nick Foles can do for this offense. See if he's got any magic left in the tank. I thought he used it all last year, but clearly he's got some left.
Sorry, not to interrupt. Cardinals. I was right. Yeah, the Cardinals Claim DJ Swearinger off of waivers.
Oh my gosh, I hope that guy becomes a free agent after this season. If this guy's stuck playing for Arizona, I mean, because he's good. I don't want to see him waste his career away in freaking Arizona.
Like Larry Fitzgerald.
Too soon!
Eagles all the way. Go ahead, do the coin flip.
Go ahead, skip this game. Do the coin flip. Jared, I jinxed it.
Redskins on the coin flip.
Well, they're not going to win. They're trash, and the Eagles have...
Browns at Ravens. Now we're talking,
there we
baby.
go. This is a game that matters, man. I want to see the Browns win this game so
Why
badly.
would you want to win the... Why? So the Steelers can make the playoffs? Oh, great.
Because it's absolutely hilarious.
Exactly.
It's not funny.
I
It's
like
not
Lamar
funny.
Jackson. I like the Ravens and how they've been playing recently, but just to spite Joe Flacco, wouldn't it just be fun?
Listen,
That
this would be
doesn't make any
three.
sense. If you spite Joe Flacco by winning,
incredible.
you idiot.
It would just be incredible to watch the Browns beat the Ravens. I don't even care about the whole Steelers making the playoffs, the Ravens making the playoffs. It has nothing to do with that. It would just be great to watch the Browns go out on a high note. Hashtag fuck you, Jackson. And just beat the Ravens, man. It would just be so fun.
It would be 3 years in a row where the Ravens have like lost in the last game to not make the playoffs.
That's what I'm saying. No, come on. I wouldn't wish that on any team except the Patriots, Eagles,
except the team that Joe Flacco is still on the roster.
Why do you like the Ravens? I mean,
they
have a good defense, but like they're not. I don't know. They don't do it for me.
You're acting like they're your team.
Yeah.
Everything. Well, first of all, they've always kind of been like a surrogate AFC team for me. And also, just like what we've been saying about the Patriots all season long, the Steelers to me, they've got obviously exciting, young players on offense like James Conner and Juju, and Antonio Brown's a monster. But like they're old hat. They are just that they're one of those teams that like always in the playoffs every single year. What would shake it up? A new look, exciting Ravens team, which by the way, just again last week against the Chargers, they put forth one of the most impressive performances I've seen by any team this season. What their defense did against the Chargers to get into first place after they've been trailing the Steelers for months now, I would hate to see them squander their opportunity. As a fan of the game, it would just be bullshit to me if they didn't get the playoffs after everything they put into the second half of the season. But
it wouldn't be absolutely hilarious to watch the Browns beat them?
It'd be hilarious.
No,
I think it'd be so funny.
I have so much more faith in Baker Mayfield than I do in anything on the Ravens.
Especially because he's been swagging out all the last
entire
6 games.
season. The entire season.
Can we just evaluate how stupid that just sounds? You have more faith in Baker after the Ravens, all the wins that they've had with Lamar Jackson, the fact that they just shut down the Chargers, held them to 10 points.
It's hilarious.
That doesn't.
And how impressive would it be?
Seriously, Baker Mayfield walks into a Browns team that hadn't won a game in 3 years, 2 years, whatever the hell it was, 19 games, whatever, and goes 8-7 and knocks the Ravens out.
Okay, fine. All right, yeah, it's hilarious. It's great. And then the Steelers go to the playoffs, so they can...
What a headline. Hold on. What an moment.
Sure. Yeah. Okay. Cleveland, they're fun to root for, but this season's over. They've been eliminated. The Ravens have everything at stake here. They're literally staring down.
Exactly.
Exactly. What do you mean exactly?
Exactly. So the Browns can go in there and kill the Ravens season.
I'm not saying that they don't want to do that.
And it would be even better because if you want to talk about the Steelers for a minute, Le'Veon Bell's still sitting in Miami making stupid rap albums when the Steelers are now going to make the playoffs because the Browns beat the freaking Ravens to let the Steelers go to the playoffs. It even gets better. It's even better.
Okay, yes, there are many narratives that could come out of this game, but to me, the Ravens...
Which are a lot better than Ravens beat the Browns to make the playoffs.
Okay, well, the Ravens, they already had their season-defining win, and yeah, it's not going to come against Cleveland, but they got to finish the job. All the work they put in with this offensive resurgence.
Got to finish the job.
And they're going to finish the job because guess what? They're not losing to the Browns twice in one season. They already lost to them once, and they're not going to lose to them at home Week 17 with everything at stake. They're going to finish the job. They have an extra day of rest because they played the Chargers on a Saturday. They're going to win. They're going to the playoffs.
Give me Baker. What does the house say?
The house says the Browns.
The Browns.
I don't dislike Cleveland, but I will be so mad if they win.
I cannot wait. I'm going to call you when this game is over, and Baker Mayfield's running up and down the field, swinging his arms like a banshee, while the freaking Ravens are flying to Florida to go play golf.
Yep.
That's what's going to be great.
Okay.
Raiders at Chiefs. Chiefs are going to take care of business.
They have to. And if they don't, they're screwed. And this team has just looked bad the last couple weeks.
I think that they get back, they set the ship right here, and they win by multiple scores.
They have to. And I really hope so, because I need it for fantasy, too.
Hopefully they're all running scores. Rushing touchdowns.
Yeah, because you picked up freaking Damian.
My prediction here, I'm going to say the final score is going to look something like 38-23. I think that the Raiders are going to get up for this game in the first half, but I think the Chiefs are going to run away with it in the second half. I think that the Raiders are going to look like they're competing at first, but the gas is going to run out real fast. They're just not going to be able to keep
I disagree. I don't think the Raiders get started at all in this game. They had their big win against Denver last week, and they pretty much just kind of book it in for next year.
Yeah, but the last time these teams played, they combined for 73 points.
Yeah, I still don't think it's going to happen. What do you got? What does the coin got?
The coin says... Of course it says Raiders, because why the hell not?
That makes no sense.
Me. What's next?
Bears, Vikings. Chase, why you got the Vikings in this one?
Because the Vikings need to win, and the Bears
are
don't.
The best team in the league.
The Bears are only playing for a bye week. So if the Vikings are home, so as soon as the Vikings get up, which I think they will get up early in this game, the Bears are going to pretty much just cash it in and just take third seed. I think the Vikings have way more to play for here. Their offense has looked way better since they got rid of DeFilippo. The Vikings are favored by 4.5 points, so Vegas agrees with me too.
Barely.
By 4.5, that's more than just 3, which is usually the home regular.
Yeah, no, I still think the Bears are going to win this one. I still think the Bears are going to come out. They want to play for that bye week. They want the extra week of wet. Week of rest. And Khalil Mack's going to come out, have another great game. Trubisky, who's having a great season other than when he was hurt.
He's having a good season.
Yeah.
It's not great.
Okay. He's having a fair season.
He's having a fair season.
He's still going to come out and beat the Vikings, even at home.
I humbly disagree.
If the Vikings lose, they're out, correct?
I think that both.
Okay, and if the Vikings win, they're in no matter what.
Which is why I'm picking them.
Nope, I still think they're going to lose because now the Bears want to beat the Vikings by knocking them out.
I'm sure they do, but I still think the Vikings will win.
Who doesn't make it if the Vikings win?
The Eagles.
Yeah, Eagles.
Well, no. If the Vikings win, then they're in.
Yeah, Eagles.
No, I'm saying.
Eagles.
All right, so if the Vikings win, the Eagles are out. If the Vikings lose,
the Eagles are in.
The Eagles are in. Ooh.
Yeah. I think that you guys...
See, that changes my narrative because I hate the Eagles.
Yeah.
But I still think they're going to win their games. So,
Yep.
Yeah, I'm going to stick with the Bears. I think the Eagles will win. The Bears will beat the Vikings. The Vikings won't make the playoffs. The Eagles will make the playoffs, which I hate because I said earlier that the Eagles won't make the playoffs. So, really, either way, I'm okay with it.
VG.
Yeah.
What does the coin say?
Well, what does the Jared say, first of all, because I didn't get to talk. I think that both of you guys are kind of missing the point here because here's the thing. The Bears at this point control the bottom half of the NFC playoffs. They have both teams' destinies in their hands. So if you're Chicago, you can do one of two things with this game. You can go out there against your rival Vikings. You can bury them. You can, it's week 17. We're going to keep the Vikings out of the playoffs. Mwaha, we're so good. What do you do if you do that? You let the freaking Philadelphia Eagles in the playoffs. You let the defending Super Bowl champions who are building momentum with Nick Foles leading their offense, now you let them into the 6th seed. That's right where they want to be. They want to be the underdogs going on the road. They're battle tested. They've been there before. Now, all of a sudden, you're Chicago. You have to deal with them in round 1 of the playoffs. Or you can give the Vikings a false sense of confidence by drawing up a boring game plan that shows them nothing about what your team and what you're actually going to give them in the wild card round. And then, by doing so, you force the Vikings to come to your house because this game's in Minnesota. You're going to force that dome team to come to Chicago in the cold weather where they've already lost to you. and you've got them playing right into your hand. You drop a boring game plan, you throw this game, you let them come in, and you game plan to bury them in Chicago. You go with the devil you know instead of the devil you don't know, and you keep the Eagles.
Why do you have the Bears picked? So you picked the Vikings then?
I picked the Vikings, but for entirely different reasons than you do.
So then why did you tell us the Bears
you got the Bears written down. I changed his mind. I'm very convincing.
That's fair.
No, I had the Vikings, and it's for that reason.
The house has the Bears, and we are moving on to the Bengals at the Steelers. The Steelers are favorited by 14.5 points. The Bengals are not going to show up to this game. Steelers got to win, and they got to get some help. You got any insight on this?
Jared?
And if so we talked about dog shit or cat shit before, and if dog shit and cat shit had a baby, it would look like the Cincinnati Bengals.
Ah, yes, the dog shit cat piss.
The cat,
the cat shit piss guy.
Wait. So I think this would be the cat dog shit, but cat dog doesn't have a butthole, so I don't know where the shit would come from.
Comes out of one of the mouths.
They put poop at each other's mouths. Anyway, getting out
so
of the dog centipede, cat centipede thing here. Yeah.
So hold on. If I put food up my ass, will I crap out my mouth?
Probably. I got the Steelers in this.
We all have the Steelers. What does the house have?
Because the Bengals suck.
We've got one more interesting game to talk about.
Yeah, we do. Most of these games suck. Sorry, we prefixed this episode with most of these games suck. So, welcome to football.
And
the house
has the
Bengals because I jinxed it saying that the house was actually somewhat decent this week, and then they chose the Bengals over the Steelers. Colts of the Titans.
Last game, Colts of the Titans, Sunday Night Football.
This one actually matters.
The winner makes the playoffs, and depending on if Houston loses or not, wins the division.
Correct.
So by this time, they will know whether they're playing for a wild card spot or the division.
Either way, this is a playoff game.
This is interesting. I want the Colts to win because I think that they can make an impact on the AFC. I think that if the Titans make it, I don't think that they really do anything special, but I feel like the Colts can actually make some moves. And yet here I am. I'm going to take the Titans because the Titans are home. They're going to run the ball with Derrick Henry. And for some reason, the Colts don't win these games that they should.
Wow.
Yeah. I mean, the Titans are annoying. Titans are very annoying. The Colts are favored by 3.5 points, and they're on the road here.
Yeah.
Which is a lot.
Which is 6.5
It's a 6.5 point swing to the Colts on the road because Vegas even thinks they're going to win by at least a touchdown.
Yeah, pretty much.
So I'm taking the Colts here because the Titans are just obnoxious. If Mariota starts, yeah, all right. Titans swing maybe another point or two in their favor. So it's still probably a 2.5 to a 2-point spread, which makes it a little harder to pick here. I may go with the Titans if Mariota starts. However, as of now, which I'm pretty sure as of recording time, Mariota is still very questionable, if not out. The Colts are going to win this one. I think there's a lot to prove for the Colts. I think that the Titans are very wishy-washy, and Derrick Henry's been running the ball very well, but if that is their only option, the Colts are going to know to just work on stuffing the run the entire game because the passing offense is going to be irrelevant. And if the passing offense is irrelevant and you can stop Derrick Henry, which is very hard because he's literally the size of a freight train, the Colts will have a chance to win this game. And I think they have a better chance to win this game regardless than the Titans do, especially because the Titans are literally on and off every other week.
Well, what's encouraging for me is that the Colts are going into this game facing a run-centered offense, and you're just coming off a game where you shut down one of the premier backs in the league in Saquon Barkley. So that gives me some confidence that the Colts can...
Which is kind of my point, because if you can shut down Saquon Barkley by literally just stuffing the run the entire game because you have nothing else to worry about, Odell Beckham's out and Eli Manning's irrelevant in that situation, you have a chance to win.
I will tell us right now that Mariota is looking to play. He wants to play, but he's officially questionable. So let's assume that he's probably going to play.
Well, even if he plays, I think Chase.
Even if he plays, I still think if you just stuff Derrick Henry, this game's over.
I think that. I mean,
you think the Colts have a good enough defense?
Yeah, I do. Absolutely. They've had this team shut out the Cowboys just a couple weeks ago.
Cowboys are we all know this.
They shut out a playoff team.
Last episode, I just talked about how the Cowboys' offense was terrible against the Buccaneers. So yeah, the Cowboys aren't that great.
But
they shut out somebody like the Rams or the Chiefs. Be talking.
They held them to 0 points though. That's impressive.
Yeah, it is.
That means that they have a good defense. And it's a good enough defense to beat a team that doesn't particularly score a lot. And they've got the better quarterback, and the better quarterback for a game like this. I think Andrew Luck and the Colts are more built for the postseason, and they're more built to win in this type of environment. Titans have been on and off all season long, and the Colts have won, what have they won, 8 of 9 at this point?
Yeah.
Really?
I think so.
They're hot, man. And you know what, Chase? I agree that like
I don't think they started 1-5.
They did start 1-5. I agree.
1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. They have won 8 of 9.
Holy smokes!
They started 1-5. They lost to the Bengals, beat the Redskins, lost to the Eagles, Texans, Patriots, Jets, then beat the Bills, Raiders, Jaguars, Titans, Dolphins, lost to the Jaguars, beat the Texans, Cowboys, and Giants.
They've lost one game in the last 9 weeks.
That's correct.
And that's why I think they'll probably be dangerous in the playoffs.
Which is why they're going to beat the Titans.
I still going to take the Titans because they piss me off.
Well, I agree. I think the Colts can make more noise. I think they're gonna get the job done here. Better quarterback, better all around team. I think so. Yeah, I'm thinking the Indy's going to get in, and they do have the potential to make noise if they do that.
This goddamn nickel keeps facing games with freaking Chase, man.
That's right. We're going Titans, baby.
It's not actually a nickel. It's a quarter. I just like saying that because it annoys Jared because it's worth less money.
And that is the last game for our Week 17 previews. That is it. Next week, we will know who is in. We will know the playoffs. We will talk about who is in, who is out.
And we'll also talk about which quarterbacks are hitting par on the golf course because there's going to be a lot of players not anywhere close to the NFL.
You know what we should do? We should probably do like a playoff bracket or something like that between the three of us.
Yeah, all right. Yeah, that's a good idea. We will. Go ahead.
I'm thinking we should do that in the preview because it's like next week in our preview episode, we're only going to have 4 games to talk about. So I think that, we'll do a little, once all the teams are set, our early playoff predictions for how we think the entire postseason is going to go, and then we can check how right we were or wrong we were.
Agreed.
Definitely. I'm cool with that, so keep an eye out for that. That will be uploaded as a picture, if you will. So we'll upload some sort of image of how our bracket is going to go between the three of us. And maybe we'll even do a house bracket. We'll do a coin flip bracket.
Absolutely.
In there. That'll be fun. That'll be uploaded to our Instagram, Facebook, and Twitter. So keep that. Sorry. Funny things. Keep an eye on that, and you will be able to see that, like I said, on our Facebook, Instagram, and Twitter. As always, we are available on iTunes, Spotify, Libsyn, Stitcher, and YouTube. So keep an eye out for new episodes and any, breaking news kind of content. If there's any injuries going in the next week or the playoffs or any of that kind of good stuff. Other than that, I think that's all we got for this week. Jared, you got anything else?
Nope. This has been Call to the Bullpen, baby.
And Chase, what are we doing?
Hanging the fuck up.
Hanging the fuck up.